Oh, hey everybody. Dave's here today. Say hello, Dave.
Hello, Dave.
You're going to help me with, Dave just said, what am I doing here? I said, you get to help while I'm doing my hands and things down here. Anyway, today I'm shooting this live video for, because I saw a post for beer bread that was short one ingredient. And I wanted to, if you haven't been over to Pinterest, I have a board called What Things to Do with All That Flour You Just Bought. And so this is in the same vein. And my friend Laurencia posted a beer bread recipe, and I wanted to share with you one that I think will work really well. It's super easy. I want to introduce you guys to yeasted breads, but I don't have time for that. I have an exam on Thursday. So for right now, we're just going to do simple and quick, easy breads. So the ingredients for this, and I'll just go ahead and pan. Oh, am I doing a good job? Let me spin it. How do I spin it? Okay, so for today's project, I have my bread bowl with a small strainer, a stick of melted butter. We're gonna do 3 cups flour, 3 teaspoons baking powder, a teaspoon of salt, a 1/4 cup of sugar, a can of beer, and 1/2 cup of melted butter. Hello, everybody. Hi, Gretchen. we're having fun making them. And so I've spun it back around. One thing you do want to keep in mind is that as you, and I don't actually drink beer, but I keep some out in the garage refrigerator that's mostly full of cheese for hospitality purposes. But yeah, so it makes it great. So while I do not drink it, it turns out it's nice to have some on hand to use for beer. Not for beer, for bread. Bread. That was, I don't know. Anyway, okay, so what we're going to do first is just measure out our flour. A lot of folks, the nice way to measure flour for quick breads is to spoon it gently out of the container into your cup and level it off. But actually, most of you will do something completely different. So I'm going to show you how to compensate for that by sifting. And all you need to sift, you don't need that thing that your granny had that went. You just need a small or any size type of wire strainer. So Dave, I'm gonna let you have the camera. Let's see, do we need to flip it around? I'm gonna let you hold it, and then we can kind of show, we're gonna get in here. Here's my flour. I'm keeping it on the counter. I have been keeping my flour in the freezer, but you need to bring it up to room temperature before you use it for making bread. And okay, so let's see, so here is how most of you will do your, so there. That was a very elegant one. We're gonna use 3 cups of flour. 2, and then 3. That's very exciting. Are you excited yet? You should be excited.
Excitement abounds.
Excitement abounds. And what's really neat about using oh, come on, Dave, this is exciting.
Wow.
I'm thrilled. Are you thrilled? Raise your hand if you're thrilled. Can people raise their hand on Facebook? So there are a couple of versions of beer bread out on the internet, and some of them use less than a stick of butter. Those would be inferior breads. Not great. And so I have sifted 3 cups of flour into my bowl. And I've mise-en-place for you guys. I've got some salt, and I just taught Owen this, and I'm going to teach you in case you don't have a lot of experience, and you don't have to go back and forth. What you have to do is sprinkle your dry ingredients. Don't just dump it in on top. There goes the teaspoon of salt. This is a 1/4 cup of sugar. If you have self-rising flour, you can skip the salt and the baking powder. Oh, and a nice thing, I guess I could sift the baking powder in there. It's got kind of
look at those clumps.
It's clumpy, so that's a nice thing to sift through as well. Just force the full measurement through with your fingers. Ooh, poke, poke, poke. And then go ahead and use your big fat whisk to get those thoroughly incorporated into the flour. This is a super easy bread recipe. And what we do, I like to serve it next to some rice and beans.
We got Ellen just raised her hand.
Woohoo! She raised her hand. Whoa! Thank you, Ellen. And so we've got all of our dry ingredients mixed up. We're going to add, flour, baking powder, salt, sugar. Now we have to do the beer. And you can't, there's really not a non-alcoholic version to this recipe because the beer is going to add what you need. It's the carbonation and the composition of the beer. Grab your wooden spoon. We're going old school today. I've taken off my ring just in case I need to dive in there with my hands. This was an Ugly Pug black lager. We're shopping local right there. Rars, just south of the hospital district. And you can see it's coming together really nicely. It's a little shaggy, but that's all right. Ooh, it smells real good. And see how easy, there's not going to be any kneading for this process. And I think that's just about mixed. Do you think that's mixed, Dave?
Looks mixed to me.
It's mixed. So even though it's an obsessive habit, I'm spraying my pan, even though I'm about, okay, so this is a full stick of butter. This bread's gonna be super nice and crusty. I'm gonna pour about half of that stick into the bottom of the pan, swirl it, and then I'm going to pick up my beer bread and I'm gonna plop it without getting butter on my scarf. Oh man, that was not elegant. I'm gonna put put all the batter in. See how easy this was? And we're going to put this into a 350, I've got a convection oven, so 350 degrees, 375 for everyone else. And I'm gonna start checking on it. It might take 30 to 45 minutes. It all depends. And I'll start checking on it. And halfway through the process and then I'm just gonna pour the rest of the butter on the top. Yes, it looks like that, folks. This is what your beer bread looks like. I'm just gonna throw it in my unclean oven. And
Nobody look.
Don't look. And maybe
Is the convection on?
And so maybe a project while we're at home will be to actually clean the oven. We can only hope. But we're gonna let that cook for about 35, 40 minutes. And you'll do so until a toothpick or a chopstick comes out clean from the middle. It'll be a nice toasty golden brown. And halfway between you'll wonder, will this bread ever soak up all this butter? And I guarantee you that it will. There are some recipes out there that say use half a stick. Just don't do it. And so anyway, that's today's easy beer bread recipe. I hope it's useful to you and your families, and y'all will we'll talk to you later. I think my next video is going to be about my arrow garden. I'm going to show you guys how I keep basil fresh and ready to go. So anyway, y'all have a great afternoon, and we'll see you then. Bye-bye.